notification. Shit. Maybe we'll get a couple people up in here. Come and say hi. What? What? Connecting. Say hi. Type something. I'm looking for my chat. Hey, piping up. There we go. Chat's in here. What's going on, dude? Oh shit! I forgot you were a moderator. You got a wrench next to your name. Dang. Been keeping up with the journey. Hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate anybody who watches the videos. I hope they're somewhat entertaining, and I hope that the wife's filming is adequate, you know, for YouTube. Am I coming home from a match? No. We're heading to some Christmas festivities, and just doing a little live and drive, man. A little live and drive. Deadfish, we are heading to the in-laws. That's where we're going. We're gonna go see mother-in-law and father-in-law. Yeah, some crim. Best camera lady in the business. Shit. Damn, they piping you up right now.
I hope it's adequate enough. Like, geez, thanks.
I know, man. I know. I just need to get her on the old need to get her on a gimbal, and then maybe send her through a couple editing boot camps. Get some cool stuff in the videos. Yeah, family time. Family time's good. We're gonna go play some games. You know, open some presents, eat some food. You know, see some people we haven't seen in a little while. It'll be good. It'll be a good time. Wow, what? Gonna go be the Grinch. Nah, Porter, man, I definitely appreciate her willingness to go out in cold matches like the recent All Classifier, to go out at hot matches, to film, to put up with me when filming, to put up with shitty squads sometimes. Just the willingness to go out there. So it's much appreciated. And it provides a better viewing experience for y'all, rather than just giving a random person my phone every single time and hoping that the recording goes well enough that I can make it onto YouTube. So yeah. What are you boys up to tonight? What are y'all doing? Better begin some dry fire in, motherfuckers. Hey man, a lot of us are on the road to GM, big dog. A lot of us are. I had somebody ask the other day in a comment, they asked, you know, what helped with my rise in skill level. I don't want to say as quickly, I forgot exactly what he said, but one of the things is whenever you're filming, and a lot of people don't film their stages, but whenever you're filming and you're editing a video and you have a hat cam, you get to watch and dissect yourself during the editing process more so than anybody else. I get to watch my stage before an edit and me watching my stages afterwards, I probably watch them each stage 5 to 10 times on both the hat cam and the camera angle. So I'm able to really dissect the positives and the negatives, to the extent of some people who don't even record. They never get to do that. They get the one visual of running the stage, and that's it. And I think that has helped in a big way. And then also, after every stage, it's come off sometimes as like kind of complainy and maybe a little bitchy sometimes, but after every stage, when I have a camera shoved in my face, it's an immediate after action report and me going over exactly what happened, what I did good or what I did bad in a stage. And it is one, it's kind of like having a journal, except it's video and I'm just talking to you guys. So it's like, this is my journal talking over here on YouTube. And then it's different because what I'm saying, I'm not just writing something down. I have to be articulate with it for YouTube as well. That it, again, getting the extra reps of watching and getting the after action immediately after the stage is such a leg up on people who don't record anything at all. So I highly recommend it. If you can get her behind the camera and you can record your stuff, definitely do it. If you can edit it, put it up on YouTube or put it anywhere, edit it, don't put it anywhere. It's recording your stages, editing it, and watching it back multiple times is going to help you be a better shooter. Movie night, dry and live fire this morning. Nice. What movie, man? Is it Christmas time? Everybody should know what the best Christmas movie of all time is. There's only one answer. That answer is Jingle All the Way. Put that cookie down! The best. It's the best. The best Christmas movie ever made. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I will say that, but it's not the best Christmas movie ever made. It has to be intentionally a Christmas movie in order to be the best Christmas movie ever made. It's crazy what's happened. Is that Bruce Willis? It's crazy what's happened to him with whatever it is, ALS or whatever he has. I think he's like completely non-verbal now and can't even communicate these days. Rip. That sucks. So, Mr. Piping, it was described in a podcast that I listened to the other day. Who was in there? It was, forgive me, I don't know the host. It was Brantley Merriam, Adam Grime, whatever his name is, and Matt, whichever order his names are in, two first names. He, in this podcast, it was a little Instagram live podcast thing. It's on one of their Instagrams. They described it as they can tell who is going to be, or like actually has the desire to be a good shooter whenever somebody after a stage is, I don't want to say hard on themselves, but they can immediately reflect and either see what they did right or wrong, talk about it, articulate it, and then be upset when something goes wrong. Because the people that don't care, that, you know, they shoot the stage and they fuck up, they're like, oh, it's whatever, it's just one, it's one stage, you know, the whole match is gone now, whatever. And then there's the guys that it could have been a good stage, it could have been let's just say 85 to 90% overall, but they messed up on one thing. A transition wasn't right, they overran a position, the reload wasn't right, and they self-diagnose and they're like, yeah, I fucked this up, but it was still a good stage. Those are the guys. Those are the guys that are going to get somewhere. Home Alone 2. The Home Alone series is good. Definitely good. It's okay, piping, what I was saying there. It's okay to beat yourself up. Don't completely rob yourself of the satisfaction of progress. I have a hard time with that as well, because every time I reach a goal, it's immediately on to the next goal, you know? Don't completely rob yourself of the satisfaction of progress, but you can't just want to be a grandmaster and then hit A class and just be like, oh yeah, I'm happy, this is cool, I'm gonna take a couple months off and I'll come back later on, you know? As soon as I hit B class, it was, how fast can I get to A? Once I got to A, it's like, how do I get to M? Now that I'm at M, I'm like, fuck, we gotta get to GM. Little wins along the way, a little appreciation for things, patting yourself on the back, and getting back to work. Again, I'm live and driving right now, so I do not recommend this. Don't try this at home. I'm a trained professional. Keep arms, hands, and feet and extremities in the vehicle at all times, please. No. There is one up there. It's a little one. Very, very small.
But it charges fast.
Maybe. Addicted to progress. Forget to have fun. If you want to be great, I don't want to say you want to have fun. It has to be fun in order for you to keep doing it. But if the only goal is to have fun, there are much cheaper ways to just have fun than shooting competitions. As Christian Guzman coined the term and made popular, proud but never satisfied.
I don't think he did.
Hey, I don't know where it came from, but he definitely.
Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott.
Oh my god.
He was 100%
Got a match coming up on the 3rd, first of the year. I don't know when my first match of the year is. There's two places that at the beginning of the month they hold matches, and I don't know if or which one of those I will be attending. We'll see. I know which one I think I'm going to attend. I need to see when that match opens up over on Practice Court, because it fills up fast. But good luck on the first match of the year. You don't need luck. Just go out and shoot to your skill level. But good luck on it. Yeah, I think no matter what, there's going to be some people who there's always something that could have been better. I guarantee it that Christian Saylor, every stage, he could have a stage win all the way at Nationals or World Shoot or whatever. He could stage win the entire fucking competition and still give you multiple multiple things that he could have done better on any given stage. So yeah, it's not personal to you. That is across the board. Most people can probably come up with 1 to a dozen things they could have done better on literally every fucking stage. But that's good. That means that you're able to self-diagnose immediately, you know, a quick after action, self-diagnose shit. It's really good. Some people, they can't even do it. Sometimes I have a hard time remembering a stage after I shoot it, like actually like the array of targets and whatnot. But I do remember instances in the stage where, you know, maybe I initiated my reload, you know, halfway up a run instead of immediately after my last shot or something. And it's good to have the thoughts, get it in your brain, but then also get rid of it for the next stage. You'll be happy with your shooting. You definitely will be. DV Coopers said, I farted.
Me too.
Well, man, we be farting around these parts. If you ain't farting, you ain't sharting, buddy.
Piss and shit and farting channel.
Yeah, dude, we be letting them rip, man. If it's an indoor match, woo, you're cooked, dude. I'm gonna turn the air off on you. I shot an all classifier is how I got high B. Well, good shit. What I tend to see with all classifier matches is guys will hype themselves in or out of a stage instead of just really it's classifiers in general, but all classifier matches are that kind of at the next level of you get guys who are maybe B class that want to go to A class, and instead of shooting everything at literally like a 75% that they can shoot at, they'll shoot a couple at 60, a couple at 65 to 70, and then 1 or 2 at like 77 to 78%. And they could have just fucking shot the whole thing at an A class level. But high B though, that's good. The next stop is A. Gotta stay hungry. The goal is not to stay in B. The goal is to beat everyone in A. When you get to A, the goal is to beat everybody at M. When you get to M, the goal is to beat everybody in GM. Yeah, dude, Christian, the old CG fitness back in the day, dude. It's a good time. I remember all that. Original gym, everything. Matt Ogus, Legends Aesthetics, all those guys way back in the day.
I thought it was Legion.
No, it's Legends of Aesthetics. Elway. Yeah. Get some Hodge twins in this bitch. Christian's an OG. He's only like 32 or 33, but he's an OG. It's a local. Where are you driving to? Well, I'm also driving. I'm trying not to fucking die here. I'm trying to get pulled over by the troops. It's a local match, first of the year. Sweet. Where am I driving to? The in-laws for Christmas time. We're gonna go hang out and eat some good food, play some games, kind of relax. So the letter, you could say the letter is like confirmation or validation, yes. But one thing you have to do is you have to seek improvement in skill, and the goal is to be a better shooter. The letter is a statistical way to put a validation or a credit to your shooting in comparison to other people around your skill level. Damn, smell like a skunk. Yeah, the goal is improvement in your shooting. You get better at shooting. Validation from the classification will show. Piping which gym? Like Alpha Elite now, the big spot, or you know, one of the original ones back in the day? Which gym did you hit up? Cody shot his first A-class classifier at an indoor match. Fuck yeah. My first A-class classifier was, I think it was down the hallway or through the hallway, whichever classifier that is. It's like a target, you run up, steal, target. It was last year, again in the freezing cold, at the same all classifier match of the last video that I posted. So a year ago, a year ago, I shot my first two A-class classifiers in the same match. So hell yeah, dude. Now that you've shot an A classifier, that's the new standard. Your skill level is A. Now you just have to be consistent with it, and you have to reproduce that on demand. Yeah, that's the new standard for you. A is the standard. Corey, dude, if there was more money to be made in the sport of shooting, then maybe I could get around and, you know, do some wilder matches, you know, get out to North Florida sectional or some of these things. But until the estimated payout on YouTube is in the thousands instead of like $100, I don't think I'll be making it down to Florida anytime soon to shoot a match. I want to. I think it'd be awesome. You know, there's some really good shooters down there in Florida that I wouldn't mind squatting up with. Ooh, the OG gym, dude. That's cool. That's cool, man. Man, bumps are crazy in this town. Thrill of the Bill 2 weeks ago. All right. Thrill of the Bill, man. Thrill of the Bill. Last time I shot that, I shot an extra shot on the first target. Sometimes you're the bug, sometimes you're the windshield. And I was a bug, and I took an extra shot. I made up a bad shot. I made up a Charlie with an Alpha. But obviously, not supposed to do that. Ooh, can you strong hand, weak hand? Nice. Can you strong hand, weak hand was my first ever Grandmaster classifier.
In the rain.
And it was in the rain, yeah. At a major match. It was pretty cool. Some people were upset that there was such a short stage at a major match and it being a classifier, but I don't know, it was cool. Yeah. That was my first GM and it was in the rain. It was a good one. It was a good one. I shot it again another time, I think M class or like 80, like right under M or something like that. I semi forgot the course of fire and forgot I had to reload, and it tacked on about half a second to the first volley, the first string of fire. Don't ask me why. I have crippling ADHD, and sometimes it shows itself. That was just a bad day of shooting in general. first match was in August.
What the fuck was that?
That was a bottle, and it just went pop. First match in August? Hell yeah. What made you want to get into USPSA shooting? What was it? What was the catalyst there? Yes, I will be rocking the Glock for belt championships if I am not Grandmaster. When I hit Grandmaster, I will be transitioning to the Shadow 2 for however long, foreseeable future, whatever, just to get time and compete behind that gun. But I'm not going to do that until GM with a Glock. So by the time belt championships rolls around, if I am still master class, then I'll be shooting it with a Glock, yeah. And it's probably just going to be the same 47 setup I've been rocking this whole time. Saw you guys live, wanted to stop in, wish you two a Merry Christmas. Well, I appreciate it, man. We're heading to the in-laws' house, gonna go have some good time with the family. Merry Christmas, dude. Excited to follow the journey in 2026? Well, I appreciate that. The 2026 journey is gonna be good. I'm hoping, you know, we finally, at least in the first series, road to Carry Optics GM here in 2026. So we shall see. But Merry Christmas to you too, dude. Yeah, side quest. Hey babe, how do you feel about side questing a match in Florida if we just disguise the whole thing as like a mini vacation? And we go like sit on the beach for a day and then the next day just shoot a match. How do you feel about that?
We can shoot iguanas or catch them.
I would go down there and shoot some
Peacock
invasive
bass.
iguanas, do some fishing. Yeah, all right. Maybe there's something there to that.
I need a side quest for your side quest.
Yeah. Yeah. Damn, man, I need to get back on some level ground. I hate asking gear questions. Am I gonna get my hands on a Gen 6? So a couple people have already asked. The Gen 6, I'm not against it. I'm probably not gonna buy one. I'm a little Jewish and I hate spending money, and the Gen 6 does not do anything that my current Gen 5 MOS Glock 47 does. I don't need the stippling. I run handle and grips, code French by the way, and I don't need the undercut on the trigger guard. The flat face trigger isn't a huge deal for me, which I'm sure that trigger is better than the Gen 5, but the Gen 5 trigger is still nice. Yeah, I don't. The gun doesn't solve a problem for me, so I don't foresee myself buying one. It'd be crazy if, you know, Glock just showed one up at my house, or just sent one in my house and it just showed up. I would definitely shoot it. I would T&E one, I would test one, I would shoot it for a couple of competitions, that type of thing. I don't foresee that happening. Glock doesn't really care about their shooters unless they're females. Yeah. Do I think the Shadow 2 will do anything for me since I'm so familiar with the Glock? The way it has been described to me by Deshaun Jenkins whenever I squatted up with him at Dragon's Cup is he said, I'm racing. I want a gun designed for racing. The CZ Shadow 2 was designed to be a competition gun. It is designed for racing. If I want to shoot it, he goes, if I wanted to shoot a duty gun, that's fine and all. I could shoot a Glock, whatever. But I'm out here, I'm racing. Why would I put myself at a disadvantage to other shooters whenever I don't have to? Whenever a gun made for competitions is so readily available. And it's fucking hard to argue with that logic. It really is. Do I think it's going to do anything for me? I think that the gun's heavier. It has a different recoil impulse after the double action. The trigger, especially with the Cajun Gunworks Pro package, is going to be retardedly good.
It's way easier to shoot.
Yeah, she says it's way easier to shoot the Shadow 2, a stock Shadow 2, than it is to shoot a Glock. And that's a skill issue with the shooter. But it is unequivocally easier to shoot a better shooting gun. There wouldn't be divisions in USPSA if the gun didn't matter. I understand that it's the Indian, not the Arrow, but again, there wouldn't be divisions if the guns didn't matter. We would shoot Glocks versus, major power factor open guns, all wrapped up in the same division. But do I think it will change anything? No. The skill level is the skill level no matter the gun. I've described it like this. You can give, I don't want to say a top level GM, but you can give the GM that wins their local matches a majority of the time any gun from anybody who's competing that day, and they're probably still going to win the match because the skill is the skill. What their skill level is still what it is. It doesn't matter if they grab a Walther, a PDP one day, an M&P the next day, a Glock, a 2011, whatever. You shuffle them around, play musical guns, and they're still probably going to win the match. So yeah, the skill level is the skill level. Once I adopt the Shadow 2, I want to be good enough at that point in time to be able to pick up any gun, race, and potentially win with any gun. That's the goal here. As Brantley Merriam described it, whenever I asked him personally, he said the Shadow 2 shoots too good. It, like you described, it deletes a lot of bad input into the gun, meaning for anybody else who read that, you can get away with more things with a heavier, easier to shoot gun. And Brantley shoots a Glock that if your fundamentals aren't in check, once you're at that skill level, when you're at Brantley's skill level, the best in the nation, you're able to self-diagnose, where your shots are going, and you can make adjustments on the fly, stage to stage. And he said that the Shadow 2 was too good, and he could shoot and get away with things that he shouldn't be getting away with because he couldn't self-diagnose those things and fix them on the fly. Which, it is what it is, but do I think there's a actual 5% skill gap between him and Christian Saylor at Nationals whenever he's shooting a Glock and Saylor is shooting a tricked out, impact precision, whatever, impact machine trigger, Shadow 2 with a gas pedal on it versus basically a stock Glock? Do I think he's a 5% skill level difference there? No. But if he was shooting a Shadow 2, would it have been a 1 or a 2%, or could Brantley have won? I understand the stubbornness of only wanting to shoot the Glock, except I'm capping it at the level of proficiency of Grandmaster or GM. So with me, it's going to be, once I get to that level, I'm going to upgrade to the competition gun. With Brantley, he wants to win the national titles with the Glock. And it is what it is. To each their own. He has that ego that is a little, it's a little bit higher up than mine when it comes to shooting with a Glock. My ego is I don't want the gun to be any excuse for anybody to say that, oh, you reached GM because of. You got to that, you did that because of, right? I want it to be, I'm shooting a fucking stock clock right now. If I hit GM with the stock clock, no one can say, hey, you're not an actual GM, you're not this, you're not that. It's being undeniably good, having undeniable skill with it. That's where my ego lies with it. Damn, y'all be commenting too quick and I be rambling too fucking much. Wanting to be better with a pistol. A buddy of mine from work invited me out to a weekly shoot they do in town. Been obsessed since. Watching you and Constantine for tips and shooting as much as I can. Well, Cody, I'm glad that the desire to get better led you to shooting competitions and getting into it back in August. I spent years doing the tactical tard, whatever, you know, getting instruction from guys that I am now a better shooter than, objectively a better shooter than some people that I took courses from back in the day. But I was one of those people that was kind of enamored by the pedigree of some people, being the military side of things and not actual skill shooting competency. So shooting matches and getting better and being a competition shooter is going to be light years better than just going to the range or shooting and plinking and those sorts of things. So it was a huge step getting out there and shooting matches, and it's going to single-handedly be the best thing you ever did for your pistol shooting, without a doubt. That goes for everybody. You'll be GM by then. I'm hoping that I'm GM by belt championships, but I do not need to shop for a Shadow 2. I already have one, and it's with a buddy of mine, CZ Armor, over here on YouTube. His name's Marcelo. He's a local guy, jiu-jitsu black belt. He's been doing it for like 40 fucking years. He either test fired it today or he's going to test fire it tomorrow. But he did a full install for me for the Cajun Gunworks Pro Kit, all of that stuff. I'll be working on some grips here soon. Probably going to do lock grips. More than likely the lock jaws. Maybe also just get the gridlocks for shits and giggles to have both of them. But yeah, already have one. The problem is I won't have a backup one. I will only have the one. So it better run. The instance where a match for me is completely ruined by only having one gun and or the Shadow completely shitting the bed might ruin the Shadow experience for me forever. We shall see. We'll see the mental hurdle if that ever happens. Say the grip company again, please. Handle It Grips. Handle It Grips is a buddy of mine down here in Texas. They do laser cut grips for plenty of guns. They were doing the Rose collaboration with Sig Sauer for Lena Michelik's guns. I run the premium sandpaper. It is nice. It does wear down to the extent of, if I'm dry firing a lot and shooting a match every weekend, by dry fire a lot I mean almost daily, then I can go through a set of grips probably within 1 to 2 months. I say standard shooter, a shooter who's not going to be doing as much dry fire or as many matches, could easily get 3, 4, 5, 6 months out of some of the grips. So definitely pick up an extra 1 or 2 after you find one that you like, and code French saves you 25%. Handle It Grips though. Cody, thanks for dropping that in there. I appreciate you, dude. I'm passing him. I hear that you learn a lot from each platform as well, so that definitely makes sense. Yep, I'm curious to see how the numbers line up. I know clock, draws, and reloads better. about draws better. The reload's definitely better because, especially with the Glock 47 and the Gen 5 stuff, the magwell is a little bit more flared. The magwell on a Shadow 2 is definitely a little bit more constricted. We'll say that. Yeah, but less throwing shots in there. No, I agree. I had an idea of doing some sort of secret all classifier match with the Shadow 2 when it was done, but not GM with Glock yet. Like maybe doing it for limited optics, you know, with that gun, and just seeing if I just go out there with the Shadow 2, if I don't know, it adds 5% to my average on a day full of classifiers. But I don't know, probably not going to do that. Probably stay true to the old Glock for now. Mistakes happen. Yep. Look forward to seeing the results. Shit, I'm looking forward to it too. What are your thoughts on dry fire tools like the Mantis or Ace VR? You don't need any of it. You need a gun, a mag, and a target. You don't even need a mag. A gun with an optic, if you're running an optic, and a target is really the basic essentials that you need. For me, for dry fire, going to this Christmas stuff, I brought my 47, 2 mags, and some Snap Point USA weighted dummy rounds so that I could do reloads with mags that are like live ammo weight. That's a good training tool, just like the JV training. They have John Flagger, he's got some weighted mag inserts. I think those are good. When it comes to Mantis, I understand it. I have some of their tools. Most of the tools don't work with belt setups because it clips onto a Picatinny rail or something. And then I have one that has like a laser bore sight that whenever you shoot, it clicks and it shoots a laser. That, I don't know. I'm not going to say it's gimmicky. If it gets you to dry fire, then I think it's good and effective. If it gets you to dry fire, but it's not necessary. Ace VR, I think it's cool. It's a video game more so than I would say a training aid. I don't know how to explain that. It's just a video game, and what you're gonna learn in Ace VR, and like I have a couple buddies like Ryan Fowler, Fowler Defense over on Instagram, that he is balls to the wall in Ace VR, and I bet you he would say that it's helped him improve, but I guarantee he'd also say that it's not necessary, and just the cost to get into it between buying the game, buying the gun, whatever, grip module, having the VR headset. I don't know what the cost is. It's probably $500 or $600 total, plus an ongoing subscription fee. I went from C class to M class in a year, and I didn't use any of that. So you definitely don't need it. Is it cool though? Sure. If it gets you to dry fire, you can make an argument that, could be useful for you or other people. Having had mill experience, shit, where'd it go? Ah! Someone just threw a bottle out of their window. You're a dick. 1 second. Again, I'm driving, guys. Try not to die at the same time. Having had mill experience and now tons of USPSA experience, it's almost laughable how bad the level of competency is in the military. Yes, anybody who says, I learned how to shoot in the military, all you have to do is go look at some viral posts from the Navy and things that they officially decide to post on their social media channels, and you'll see that that is a fallacy.
Your local range, and the guy had his thing on backwards.
What thing?
He had his red dot was backwards.
Yeah, I was... No. Yes, and the red dot and the magnifier were backwards. There was a guy who
Don't worry.
he was helping his buddy set up his gun at a local range. I was doing some filming for work. After we were all said and done, I look over, and these guys are trying to sight in an AR. The guy from the military and the Air Force had a Spear LT. A Sig Sauer Spear LT. The gold one, right? Sexy gun, nice setup, right? He was helping his buddy. I think it was a Holosun 510. It was one of the Holosuns that kind of looks like a backwards EOTech or whatever, and then a magnifier. They were both on backwards. The red dot was flipped around in front of the magnifier, and the magnifier was on the back side of the gun, but it was backwards. And I walked over there and I was like, hey, like what are y'all up to? And the guy was like, oh yeah, like he had to tell me. He was like, I was in the Air Force, and you know, I'm just, you know, helping him get his gun set up. And I was like, yes, I understand that, but you're not going to be able to sight this in. And the guy was kind of confused, and I was like, your red dot and your magnifier are backwards. And I made them like take their tools or whatever, flip the shit around, and they were appreciative of it. But yes, being a cop or being in the military does not make you a good shooter, and it does yeah, it's barely any validation at all of your shooting. There are very few cops that beat me at competitions on a weekly basis, and the ones that do, good on them. Like the guy who won Louisiana Gator Classic a couple weeks ago was in carry optics, was a LEO guy. So hell yeah. I'm prior military as well, and I completely agree. Yep. Just got to Texas. Hell yeah. Where'd you end up? It's gonna tell me a lot. Why'd you get here and where'd you come from? Goal for 2026 is to be consistent top 10 in my monthly matches and place top 50% at the 2 sectionals. Those are good goals. Those are good goals. Yes. Consistency, I agree, and it's good to have those goals. Go beat the goals, though. Beat them. Definitely, yes. Consistency and... God, dude, why are these roads so bouncy? I can't fucking read. Why is this text so small? YouTube? What the fuck? They don't cater to people who fucking drive and go live? Fucking assholes. Yeah, top 10 in locals. Top 10 in locals is a good one, especially if you get a mix of 40 or so. If you have more than 40 shooters, and you know you're in the top 10% of that, or you're in the top 1 or 2 of, you know, carry optics or limited optics and whatnot, that's good. That's good. Consistently, not just you did it accidentally one time. Consistency.
With other good shooters there, you're not just beating up on the old people.
It's okay. The old guys got to know their place. Beat up on some super seniors occasionally, guys. It's necessary. I agree. I ran one of the SWAT qualifiers that GBS group put out, and I smoked them. Yeah, that's interesting. I saw Justin Jackson, you know, the Mormon Marauder. He was over on Instagram. We've chatted a few times. I saw some of his recent videos where he's doing some of those like qualifications. I saw a GBRS group. I'm trying to diversify content going into 2026, content that reaches a wider audience than people who just are here for the matches. The goal behind that, again, is to introduce more people to my content that hopefully will see me, see my competency in shooting, how good I am, see that it's attributed to the matches that I shoot and being a competitive shooter, and then hopefully it drags those people who might not be competitive shooters yet but needed that little urge. And that is one of the types of videos that I've been thinking about doing. You know, the air marshal qual, the standard cop qualifications, you know, whatever it is for Texas, go and blow that shit out of the fucking water and make fun of it, you know, that type of thing. Is that something that y'all would be interested in? Maybe I pass, maybe I don't. You don't know. I'm gonna talk shit and then fail a qualification. Yeah, GBRS group. I think they'll come around. I think they'll start shooting matches. I think there's some ego there, being that they're not recently retired anymore. They're already old news in the recency of things, considering they've been out for a couple years now. But I think they're gonna get over that bell curve hurdle of my competency is my previous job, and eventually it's going to have to be my competency is my ability to shoot now. And what people and the majority of people are moving towards is being I don't want to say an arbitrary, but a classification in USPSA. You know, we'll see it. We'll see them out there if they can get the ego in check. The ego's hard. It's hard for a lot of people. Yeah, the ego and the persona, it hurts. You know, it's kind of like jiu-jitsu, man. If you don't know how to move your body, and you go to jiu-jitsu and you don't know how to move someone else's body, and you get moved and folded up like some dry laundry, it hurts. Remember, guys, if one man can hold you down, two can rape you. Just saying. Sir Fatboy, right now it has the O sight on there. My current Holosun has a scratch on the lens that will eventually be moved to an official backup gun whenever I get another 507 comp. I would say I would trust the 507 comp over the O sight right now, based on the legacy of the 507 comp. But O-Sight is doing some cool stuff. I will admit it. I have a couple of their O-Sight X's, a couple of their other optics. They're doing cool shit. I support them. I support what they're doing. They're driving the industry forward. If you like that, don't hesitate to support them. If you have an issue, I almost guarantee that they'll make it right. Almost. I've never had to deal with it myself yet. As Fortune said there, Sir Fatboy, probably the general consensus is going to be the 507 comp. It's what I'm going to go with. Although I do want to try